The Fall of the House of Usher by Brendan Moore, Chris Condon, Mike Brandano, and Ryan Barrows. Here we have a story of The Fall of the House of Usher, an Edgar Allan Poe classic in plain English. In this dark story, we have a man visiting his sick friend named Roderick, who lives in a very creepy mansion. He lives in an empty but gigantic estate with his twin sister Madeline, who is also very sick with a disease that causes her to slip into comas randomly. Narrator comes walking up to the house and sees how dark and gloomy it looks. He is here to visit his childhood friend Roderick Usher, who apparently is severely ill. The narrator is surprised at first that his long-lost friend is calling him to hang out, but soon realizes he is the only person who can comfort Roderick in his time of need. They start out by looking at paintings and poems that Roderick has made, but soon the narrator realizes what effect the house is having on Roderick's illness. The narrator notices that every one of Roderick's poems and paintings has something to do with the depressing, dark house he lives in. This shows that his disease is only getting progressively worse throughout the story. Roderick tells the narrator that he can't leave the house even though he knows it's only hurting him. Next, Madeline slips into one of her comas, but Roderick soon makes the assumption that she's actually dead. They need to put her body in the basement tomb immediately, raising the suspicion of the narrator. The days following this incident, the narrator notices Roderick was very on edge. He wasn't talking very much, eating very much, or being the same courteous host he was before. The narrator is unaware why Roderick was acting this way until one night when he heard it too. The narrator was just hanging out in his room when he heard a loud bang coming from the deep within the empty mansion. When he went to explore the sound, but instead he found Roderick shaking in fear from the noise. The narrator tried to comfort Roderick by sitting with him and reading him his favorite story, but nothing could get Roderick's mind off of what was happening. All of a sudden, Madeline emerged from the door, blood smothered on her face and hands. Roderick shot up and sprinted to her. In an instant, they grabbed each other. Then both collapsed in death. The narrator, watching in horror, has no idea what to do but run, and that's what he does. Once he gets out of the house and off the property, he looks back to see the house crumble to the ground. And just like that, the story is over.